Hope you're having a good Thursday evening, bank holiday weekend for you guys. So hope you're doing something nice, even though we are limited, but there's plenty of things you can do. So this is just a video on something quite important, but I'm planning my habit change videos at the moment. So just hold fire and just wait a little for those, and they'll be on their way soon. But today, I just wanted to talk about, do you ever feel that there's something more to life? So you guys are probably at least over the age of 20, and maybe you've got your kind of career on track, and maybe you're kind of got a partner, or you're happy with your relationship status, whatever that is. You've probably got some friends, you've probably got a family of some kind, you've probably got some kind of level of fitness. And yes, it's great to play around with all these things and make them as good as we can, for sure. But I don't know if I was the only one, but do you ever feel like there's something more? Like, I remember thinking a few years ago, like, is this it? Like, is this all that life has to offer? I mean, there's lots of great things. At that time, I heard my career was going well, and I thought I was kind of happy-ish there. Lots of friends, like family, and happy with my relationship status, good health and fitness. I had quite a lot of free time. I was going on trips. I'd done a lot of traveling. So I spent about 18 months traveling around the world. And that was like amazing experience. And all these things are really, really good, for sure. But at the same time, I had a feeling like, is this it? Like, is this all that life has to offer us? Or is there something else, like something more? I always had that feeling that there's something else, that there must be something else. And so a few years ago, I discovered what that was. And since then, it's just taken on. It's just taken on, like it's taken me on a kind of huge journey, and like just a huge life-changing journey, basically. And it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and it never ends. It might all sound a bit mysterious to you, but it all starts with learning to become aware of things instead of being lost in thought all the time. So usually we do everything on autopilot pretty much. So we do pretty much the same thing every day. And it's all dictated by our thought patterns, which aren't even our thoughts, actually. They're all conditioned thoughts that come from society. So you might even, once you start becoming aware, you might hear certain thoughts in your head and realize that actually that's your mother's voice or your father's voice. So, for example, with mine, every time I used to smell a bonfire outside, like that kind of smoky smell, I used to have the thought that said, "Oh, smoky bonfire!" Like, and I realised that's just my mum's voice, for like commenting on something. And then that happened a few times, and and you believe that these are your like thoughts about something, but they're not. They just come from other people, and then you kind of take them as your own. So it's all quite crazy. Once you start like being aware of all these things, you realise that none of it is yours. Really, it's all just been like put into you from other sources. So parents, peers, culture around you, all the kind of crap on the news, all the kind of stuff on social media also, and newspapers, other forms of media. And it's not until you step out of that and start limiting and being careful with what you consume in terms of what you're reading, what you're hearing, that you actually start to realize that what's true for you. So what's your truth? So that's what happened with me in my journey. So a few years ago, as I said, my whole life, I always kind of thought there's something more, like there must be something more. And then I had a bit of a kind of crazy life situation, which I'll probably expand on sometime, but it was basically a personal issue. And I was already interested in the mind, but this was the time that I really delved like deeper. And it all started with, I was reading this book, and it said, if you feel strong emotional pain, basically go into that pain. Like what we usually do is try and avoid it, just distract ourselves. But if you feel some strong emotional pain, like go into that pain and like fully accept it, embrace it. and that's what I did. And then during that time, I just experienced this kind of I felt like I was kind of going into another world almost. It felt like I was leaving kind of this dimension, and I was just going into a different way of being. And it felt quite amazing after quite a long time of emotional pain. And then that really convinced. After that, I just felt kind of healed in a way, partly at least. So I knew that this thing was the answer that I'd always kind of known was there, really subconsciously, kind of known there's something. So basically, yeah, that's what being aware is like. When you have emotions, you're aware of them, you observe them, you feel them, but you know they're not you. And it's the same with your thoughts. You can observe them, notice what they're saying, but you don't have to follow all of them. You don't have to believe all of them, because as I said, they're not even your thoughts. They just come from external sources, and you think that these are my thoughts, but they're not. They've just come mostly from external. So the key is to go inwards. So that's meditation, or being aware throughout your day of what's going on. And then things will start to click for you. You'll start getting insights about things, which is oh, this is the reason I've always done this, or this thing I've been told by my parents is total crap, or this thing I was told at school isn't right, or it makes you start questioning everything. And this, I've had a kind of deepening in this when I did my fast. So that was a few weeks ago. So basically I fasted for about a week, no food at all, very, very limited water. So over 75 hours with no water and no contact with water. So that's no washing hands, no showering, no drinking water. And during that time, the water bit was the hardest for sure. I think I could go without food for a long time. But even then, I wasn't hungry at all. After a week, really, I'd got quite used to not having food. But we're told in society you must consume food. When you're a kid, it's we have meals 3 times a day. You don't need all that food. You really don't need it all. And it made me really realize that through the fast that I did. And that's just another limiting belief that we have, is you must eat 3 times a day, which have just smashed it basically. You don't have to eat 3 times a day. If you tune into your body, quite often you feel you don't need to eat something, particularly before bed. You should never eat. And in the morning, I do something that's called intermittent fasting. So that's I eat my last meal at 8 p.m. and then I don't eat again until the afternoon the next day. And what that does is allow your digestive system to have a break, and allows your digestive system to have a break, and it makes you feel a lot better. Actually, you feel far more focused. In the morning when I get up and do work and stuff, I feel much better in the morning. So I encourage all these things that we've been told, kind of programmed almost, beliefs. I invite you to question them and start experimenting a bit for yourself with things, and just see how does it feel if I don't do this or whatever. But it all comes back down to being aware of stuff. And once you start being aware of things, then, as I say, this whole world opens up to you, something that it's really hard to explain because everyone has their own personal journey. But it's when you start questioning things and having insights about things, it really opens up a door to a whole new level of stuff. And it's not what the mainstream are, what you see in the mainstream. So it's not the mainstream media, and it's not the usual stuff that you'd watch, films or books. It leads you into a whole different path, which is really, really incredible, and never, as I said, never ending stuff. And then you can have meditations that are just incredible. There's nothing like it at all. So you can have the best sex in the world, or the most amazing meal, whatever. But these meditations take you into a whole different zone. And then you start realizing truths about the nature of reality, and it gets pretty deep. And that's basically what, if you have a feeling there's something more, there is something more. And it's a kind of a bit like the Matrix film as well, the red pill, blue pill. And you get to the point where you think, right, which pill do I want to take? Do I want to take the blue pill and stay on this kind of same path where I'm going? It might be, fairly content, but maybe a little bit uneasy and kind of knowing something else. Or do you take the red pill and just dive into this whole other reality, really. And that's basically what it's like. And that's why I believe the Matrix film is so popular, is because people kind of know on some level, not that the fact about the machines or whatever, but on some level that there's something else there. There's something else. So I just want to invite you to ask yourself the question: do you feel like there's something more? And would you like to explore what that is? Like, and if so, then just comment below or like message me. It's not just me that's had these experiences. It's like I've got a whole new community of friends and people I talk to, and they all have the same kind of experience, basically. Well, they discover there is something a hell of a lot more, and it's really amazing to explore. So, as I said, yeah, message me, comment below. Maybe this post means absolutely nothing to you, and you just think this lady is crazy, which is fine as well. Maybe you're not ready for it yet. Maybe in a few years, after like a bit more pain and a bit more suffering created by your thinking and emotions, like maybe then you'll be ready for something, which is fine. Everyone's got their own pace. But if you are ready, then let me know. And we can explore. I can help you explore it together, and you'll never look back. It's incredible. All right, guys, have a lovely evening. Talk to you soon.